Hey there, bibliophiles and those raising bibliophiles. Without ratings and warning labels, knowing which books are appropriate for your children to read is like navigating wild terrain without a map and a compass. I don't know about you, but I have been burned more than once handing my child a book that I thought was clean and appropriate for them to read. I'm a fellow mom, educator, reading specialist, and literary enthusiast trying to find great books for my children and yours to read. So if you're looking for a real review from a mom with a biblical worldview, then welcome and enjoy this week's book review. So this week's book review is actually going to have a little bit of a twist. Instead of me bringing you a great book for a young adult audience, I'm actually going to have my daughter bring you the review for this week.
This week's book review is Dust by Swanson. Dust is a Peter Pan retelling about Peter Pan who's grounded in London and being hunted by his own lost boys, and Claire who just wants to find her twin brother Connor who has been missing for 6 years. Now, I'm going to read you a bit of the opening to give you an idea of Swanson's writing style. I'm reading from chapter 1, which is from Claire's point of view. When did this fairy tale become a nightmare? I slide my fingers over the worn little book, and the question surfaces again. Each textured hollow in the cover is as familiar as my own lightly freckled skin and chipped nail polish. How many times have I searched this storybook for answers, but all I've ever found is a myth, a lie. Something at the far side of the convenience store clangs, loud. I glare at the wall of refrigerators opposite of my cashier counter. Are they on the fritz again? Oh well, duty calls. As I reach for a wad of paper towels, I lay the book beside the small rack of Little Debbie's. A few pale, thin specks drip from my fingertips. My dust, the strange, lightly colored, scentless flecks that no number of doctors and needles and scalpels have been able to diagnose. A skin disorder was all they said. Code for, you're a freak of nature. I blow the haunting, sandy flecks away from the book as the mocking green eyes of the boy who never grew up peer up at me from the cover. He's there in watercolor, perched on the edge of the window seat, sporting a jaunty green cap and a pair of panpipes. This book is the favorite bedtime story of my twin, Connor, an innocent fairy tale I once thought. But it isn't a story, it's a curse, just like the flakes that drip from my fingertips. Shoving up the sleeves of my wool cardigan, I step out from behind the counter and around a stack of dollar DVDs, heading for the wall of humming fridges. I need to keep up with this job. Being broke won't help me find him any faster. Not to mention that work allows me to drown out my mind, something especially needed today. The anniversary of Connor's disappearance. I trot down the line of smudged glass refrigerator doors and finally find the culprit eliciting the racket. The small fridge sports rows of Coca-Cola products and some foggy-looking plastic bottles of water, but nothing is leaking like last time. I told them we need a handyman in here, so they better not blame me for this. I aim a solid kick at the fuzzy refrigerator. The machine gives a wheeze, but the hissing clatter stops. Feeling almost triumphant, I turn back, unused paper towel in hand. Then I hear the telltale drip, drip, drip. I groan. Fine! Nothing can ever be easy, can it? Oh boy, 2 hours into my shift and I'm already talking to inanimate objects. Figures, at least they're good listeners. I drop down and wipe up the gathering pool. As I soap up the mess, a bell at the front of the store dings. I'm half tempted to stay put and see if the customer walks away. Really, Claire? Pathetic. This is my job, and I can't afford to lose another one. Not as a poor 19-year-old financing her own search for someone everyone else has forgotten. 2 girls appear in the front of the cashier counter. Their glistening hair falls in waves, their fashionably ripped jeans and tank tops, showing more skin than I'd ever dare. They're both well cared for, put together. Things I've never been that set my nerve on edge. Take a deep breath. I can't let my insecurities hurt them. I can't let my emotions leak out in burning dust. I've never been able to stop or understand it, only bury the flecks and pray they stay locked away. So after Claire gets a tip from her friend on Connor's possible location, she hurries to London, desperate to find him. There, she runs into one of Peter Pan's reluctant colleagues, the Guardian, who sends her to Kensington Gardens, where she will meet someone that can help her find who she's looking for. And that someone is none other than Peter Pan. When Claire arrives at Kensington Gardens, she unknowingly joins Peter Pan in looking at his own statue. When Peter discovers that Claire hates him, he lies and introduces himself as Ben Kensington. Claire follows Peter and Tiger Lily back to their humble flat, where the Lost Boys find them and try to take them back to Hook. But when Claire escapes, she's confronted by Captain Hook and her friend who has been helping her find Connor. She goes with them to Hook's ship, and he ties her to the mast. When Peter swoops in to rescue her, she confronts him about the lies, and he admits them. Claire chooses Connor, who's apparently now in Neverland, over the lying Peter Pan, whom she already hated from the beginning, even though she is now somewhat in love with him. Ignoring her feelings about Peter and embracing her longing for her brother, she leaves Peter Pan behind and goes with Hook to Neverland. After explaining the truth of the events of what really happened in Neverland, to the garden and Tiger Lily, Peter goes after Claire to rescue her and the island one more time. While the book includes both Peter and Claire's point of views, Dust will most likely appeal to girls a little more than boys. However, I think teens will enjoy this book because the characters feel real and authentic. Lastly, the book contains strong messages about the importance of truth, which parents will greatly appreciate. I hope this has been helpful for parents seeking great book reviews for their children to read, and I hope you will join us next week for another book review.